Before I even bring in the figure I'm reviewing, let me bring in this sorry sack. This is my childhood Deluxe transforming GP-02 Gundam. He has absolutely seen better days. I do have some of his parts sitting in a bin, but he has never been in a state of completion. We never finished him, and I know he's definitely missing some stuff. But he's got a decent amount of things on him. I'm hoping someday I can either restore this guy or just get one entirely complete. But one great thing, you can't have GP-02 without GP-01. And even though I never had GP-01 growing up, I knew that I wanted to get the Deluxe transforming GP-01. So I guess this is near the end of their fight, when the GP-02 is looking pretty rough, but I know the GP-01 was also looking kind of rough. So yeah, I have a nice, pristine, missing just one piece GP-01, and you'll see what piece that is. It's so minor, who even cares? But hopefully, someday, my GP-02 will either be restored, or, I just get a new one. We'll find out. We'll figure out eventually. But let's get him out of there, because we're not talking about him. We are talking about the star of our show, Koaraki, GP-01 from Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory. Love Stardust Memory. Love the GP-01, especially the space version, the full burner, Vernian, whatever you want to call it. I just call the GP-01. It's what it is. Love it. Was on the Encounters in Space video game cover. Such an awesome mobile suit. And even though I don't talk about a lot of Gundam stuff on the channel, this particular figure means enough to me where I needed to make a video on it. It might not get tons of views, but who cares? I like talking about Gundam things that, not many other channels will talk about. This may be one of the only reviews of this guy you'll find on YouTube. I don't know if this saw a Japanese release. This was at least a Bandai of America, early 2000s toy. And it was called, Deluxe Transforming GP-01. Because it does transform. So did the GP-02. The main transforming thing with him was the big shoulder thrusters. But with this, obviously, he has a core fighter. That's the main transforming thing he's got going on. It's still a very awesome figure, though. Absolutely love it. It does have its quirks, though, for being a big old figure from 2000s, the early 2000s. Speaking of big, let's talk about how big he is, because, he's no small boy. He's kind of big. So, his scale, he's not 160. He's not perfect grade size. But he is definitely a bit bigger than your average 1/100 master grade. That is the version 2 RX-78. And that would mean he is definitely a lot bigger than a 1/144. There's the Kukura's Dwone's Zaku right there. Love that kid. Love that movie, by the way. Awesome stuff. Yeah, he's huge. He's pretty big. And he is like an action figure model kit hybrid. He did come mostly built, but a lot of his armor and a lot of his weapons are things that you needed to build. They came on sprues and things, and I actually, if I can dig them out, the bag opened up. Oh no, some stuff spilled out. But here's the bag of pieces I've recovered from that. That's not supposed to be in there. Pieces I've recovered from that GP-01, or GP-02, I should say. So you can see a lot of the pieces actually did come on a runner. So, some of the vents for the big old shield. Looks like some little tiny gray pieces there. A lot of it came on a runner. I don't even think everything goes to him. They just ended up in this bag. But it's definitely kind of interesting that this was like a model kit figure hybrid. I got this pre-built, all done, just missing one piece. What is that one piece, you might ask? Well, flipping his shield around. He has one E-Pack. Oh no, he's supposed to have two E-Packs. No! No! This ruins it. It literally doesn't matter. Maybe someday, I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again, maybe someday I'll just 3D model this piece real quick and 3D print it whenever I get around to getting into that. Yeah, look at that. It's so simple. I could make this in a 3D model thing within minutes and print it. If I'm that worried, maybe someday I'll do that. But, I still have the E-Pack on the rifle. That's all that matters to me. And you can take this off too if you want. You can actually have him like reload it, which is pretty cool. You know, he at least has one E-Pack to be on the rifle. That's all I can ask for. He did also have a couple extra accessories that you're not seeing here. Let me fetch them. A couple beam saber blades, because, I mean, he has beam sabers. I'm not even going to take these out of the bag. Let me just tell you why. One of probably the worst things about this figure, you know, you take the rifle out. He's like, oh, I want to have him with the beam saber. That looked really cool. He doesn't hold it. It doesn't hold. It just slips right on through. It's an oversight, I suppose. They just didn't really think that one through. But, you know, it's the thought that counts, I suppose. Very classic kind of, you know, issue. I mean, heck, even looking at Kukura's Dwon Zaku, like this, it doesn't hold super solid either. Like, even in modern day model kits, we're still having this issue. But at least it does hold it. You know, at least he can hold it. Yeah, other than that, you know, I really love it. It's definitely not going to be your be-all, end-all, super awesome robot Damashi trumping, you know, GP-01. It's a big old action figure thing from the early 2000s. And it really, really feels it in a good way. In a great way, actually. So, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to detail, but I do want to zoom in just to say how much I love that head sculpt. That is GP-01 right there. That is gorgeous. I love it. I love how much red he has on his head, by the way. I just think it looks so cool. His big old Vulcan cannons. I love the little V on the chest. I don't really think you can open up his chest to see the cockpit in this mode. That's not really something you can do. But he's got cool detail on his shoulders. He's got the awesome thrusters in the back. He actually has articulating thrusters back here, which is really cool. And they're red on the inside, which is also a plus. Yeah, you can articulate these. A lot of nice little detail with the red and the gray and the black. Looks really nice. I love the little warning symbols that they put on these old Gundam figures back in the day. Just kind of adds a bit of extra flair. You know, just, you know, little warnings printed on. It's kind of cool. Yeah, not a lot of detail. You know, it's the GP-01. It's not the most detail-loaded Gundam. But you can see, it's cool looking. It's really cool. I love the beam rifle. Always been one of my favorite beam rifle designs. I love his beam. Yeah, it's a really cool figure. I really love it. Let's talk about the articulation. So he's got like a swivel and a hinge at the head. So you can't really get him looking up too much, but you can get him, you know, looking down. Let's bend this camera down a little bit too. His shoulders, they can rotate on a nice click. He's very clicky. His arms don't go out too much because of the shoulder pads, but that's okay. He's got a bicep swivel that kind of struggles, but it'll get there. He has a single elbow, which gives you a decent range. He's got ball joints at the fists, which are nice. His waist, I don't think does anything. That's just because of the transformation gimmick, but, you know, it is what it is. His thrusters, this can move up, mostly for the transformation. Also, these can move in and out and move, mostly, again, for the transformation. These thrusters move as well. The legs, you can move the skirting up just a little bit. I say as I move it up quite a bit. Side skirting you can move up too, but I mostly say a little bit because you can't have it up that high to really get the leg moving. As you can see, the leg isn't going to go up that high too much either. So it's pretty much just going to go up to there. The knee is really cool because the knee is actually a double bend. And even though it kind of breaks up the look a little bit, you can move the knee pad to kind of adjust for it. So yeah, you get a double knee, which gets you a lot of range. You do get a thigh swivel as well, which is really useful. And the feet move up, they move down. A little bit of tilt, not too much. And you do get some guard movement in the front and the back, and some little thruster action back there, which is really cool. So yeah, love this guy. Absolutely love it. Definitely one of my favorite Gundam pickups in a long time. Oop! Spoiler! Oop! What I meant to show was how the shield can expand. That's what I was going to show, but then I just rip them apart. But yeah, it's pretty much the figure. That's pretty much it. Let's get into the transformation of it, which is pretty simple. You know, it's the GP-01. So, as I showed, this kind of just untabs. And then this doesn't just kind of untab. It's a little tighter. It was actually really scary trying to get this off the first time around. Because the tabs, you can see how big those are. And how big the holes for those slots are. But that's what it does. That's just how it is. I was really scared at first. But just flip the nose cone up. Flip the beams forward. They almost look like guns, but that's not really their function. Just kind of slot that up. Collapse those in. Get those facing back. And there you go. There's the core fighter. Looking good. Looking real good. I love the little subtle red paint on the inside. You can open up the cockpit and see a little tiny Ko-Rocky in there. That's cute. He actually does have a visor painted on his helmet. So yeah, I think it's always cool when they include a pilot for a Gundam or, you know, Gundam kit, Gundam figure. I think it's always kind of cute. Yeah, that's neat. You know, not much it can do. It just kind of flies around. But it is kind of cool, though. You can replicate... Ooh, squeaky. You can replicate certain things from the OVA, like when you had to split into two to... I think it was taking down the mobile armor. You had to split into two. So you can kind of collapse this. Then get these, not untabbed, facing up. Get those facing up. And then you can just put the torso on this. We gotta move this just a little bit, though. Yeah, you can just put the torso on this. It just kind of tabs in right back there. So yeah, that one moment he had to split off. You know, you can have him... and then he can just fly around like that, I guess. It's such a cool figure. I really love it. This is definitely one of my favorite non-Gunpla Gundam pieces in my collection. I'm just hoping someday I can complete the duo and have both of them, you know, looking good, looking shiny, looking complete, and having a nice, you know, Stardust memory duo right here. You can see, because this was probably a model kit piece, you can see the gate mark right there. That just tabs in. Yeah, I probably need to clean up that gate mark. That's probably why that keeps coming off. Again, I didn't build it. I would have cleaned up that gate a little bit better than that. So there we go. There is the Bandai GP-01 Deluxe transforming figure. Love, love, love it. It's just a matter of getting him all straight and standing. That's always an issue with stuff like this sometimes. There we go. Let's get that foot straight. There we go. That works. That works for me. Straight enough. Alrighty. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love everything. I'm just a lover. I'm sorry. I love the toys that I spend my money on. They make me happy. Alright, there we go. Let's bring it back in, though, just for laughs. I think I'm missing an entire arm on this guy. I know I don't have his V-fin. I know I don't have that for sure. But, yeah. Hopefully, at some point, we can complete this. I can have both of them, you know, in good shape on the shelf, looking imposing, looking awesome. But for now, I'll take GP-01. I'll take GP-01. Hopefully someday soon. Hopefully someday. And I do believe you can see a little... Yeah, you can see an Annabelle Gatto in there, too. That's so cool. Alrighty, guys. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout-out to the channel members as well. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Alrighty, there we go. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.